Hey everyone, my name is Lee White and I wanted to share some tips on getting to finished artwork in a quicker and easier way than maybe you are using at the moment. What you're seeing on the screen right now is a couple of images, 78 new illustrations that are going to be, it's going to be a tarot deck. So there's 78 different cards. And just due to the deadline, I do not have time to try something out, have it not work, then try something else, have it not work, and then ultimately get to a finish. If you do that with 78 cards, it would take me 5 years to finish the whole thing. Each of these cards is loosely related in theme, but there's not necessarily a character running through each one of the cards. These are all done in Photoshop, by the way, but I do work traditionally in watercolor as well. And these same principles apply in watercolor. These go pretty quick for me because I have a working system of how to get to a finish. And so I'm going to show you this 3-step sort of process, starting with a really simple image. Step 1 is do a ton of loose, rough sketches. There's nothing worse than just having one idea for something. So for every single image, I probably have 20 or 30 of these, and I'll start picking through. In this case, it's a pretty simple image, like I said, so I'm just showing you this one thing, but you have to do the thumbnail sketches. A lot of my students want to leave this step off and go straight to painting, and that leads just to a lot of painting that may not yield good results in the end. Step 2 is going to be what I call no-tan. It's a Japanese word that just means the breakup of light and dark. If you can think of it as yin and yang, it's sort of a great idea. You can kind of see that almost in this image with you have black up at the top and then you have white. It's basically a black and white pattern. And the beauty of this is you get to check your graphic. And all I'm looking for is the graphic design nice? Is it a pleasing kind of graphic? And if you can't make your image look good using just black and white, no gray, if you can't make your image look good in black and white, the image has problems, and you need to go figure out what those problems are before moving forward. It's sort of what I think maybe Mike Mignola ended up with his Hellboy comic series. It almost looks like this, right? It's such a powerful statement. And again, if it doesn't work here, it's not going to work in the finish. Step 3 is going to be a basic value study. What I'm really looking for here is 3 things: a light value, a mid value, and a dark value. And I want to make sure those things separate, meaning that is it a light shape on a dark background or a dark shape on a light background? And you can see from this, we know exactly what's in light and what's in dark, what's the lightest value, what's the darkest value. It's really easy to break it down, and you always want to maintain, even though you are starting to add gray values in, we're still maintaining this look, even though we're adding more detail. So if you notice, each step sort of starts to build in detail. There's no detail here. It's just a couple of shapes with an indication of possible shadow. And then you have just this graphic breakdown. So a little bit more information than the rough sketch. And then this value stage is really where you work out everything. Again, what's light and what's dark. Most of the time when an image goes bad, it has no structure in value. And there you can't tell what's supposed to be light, what's supposed to be dark. And I treat these shapes almost like cut out puzzle pieces, I guess is a good way to think about it, where you've got a dark shape and then next to it might be a light shape, and they fit together in a logical and hopefully pleasing way. And once you have that and you are satisfied with it, you just paint the color version. It is a breeze to paint that. And again, whether it's Photoshop, whether it's in this case watercolor, super easy to go to this phase. And you know, I might even do a color study. So it starts out, there might be 4 steps actually. So it could be a rough sketch, your high contrast black and white, your grayscale, and then just a hint of what the colors are going to be. Typically when I'm working for colors, I look for warm and cool relationships. I'm not necessarily concerned with what the actual colors are, just where's the cool colors and where's the warm colors, where's the blues and where's the oranges, basically is a rough idea. You can learn all this and much more by joining the SVS Learn community. Launching this month, SVS membership will be moving to a brand new home. Together with our dedicated community, you're going to be able to learn and collaborate with like-minded illustrators, join in with regular art challenges, and progress at a comfortable pace. In joining the visual storytelling community, you'll get access to curated course material and exclusive member-only content that you won't find anywhere else. If you're in the US, now's the perfect time to become an SVS Learn member. You can use the SVS Learn membership as a tax-deductible investment in yourself. improving your illustration skills, and working your way to becoming a professional. Not only that, but you can lower your taxes, which is always a good thing. You can join the waitlist now using the link below to hear the latest about our new community launch. See how clear these shapes are and see how clear these value structures are. We've got the lightest lights in the focal point of where I want you to look. And then we have our mid value background. And then we've got dark shapes too around the focal point. So again, if we were going to cut these out of paper, it would be really easy to make this illustration out of cut paper because there's a clear breakdown of what's the light value, what's the medium value, and what's the dark value. And so it's just kind of funny because a lot of people overcomplicate how to build an image. Look how clear this silhouette is. If I was going to, again, cut this out of paper, it would be an extremely easy thing to do. And that's why I ended up actually using graphics on a lot of the things because I think of these as flat shapes that I'm just adding to a 2D surface. I'm not thinking, oh, this is a three-dimensional surface, even though there may be shadows and things like that in there. It's a very flat breakdown, but you can tell what's the light values, what's the medium values, what's the dark values. It's really, really easy to organize images. You know, where do you think I want you to look in this image? And so that's how I'm controlling it, is where is the most obvious shape that's going to grab your attention, and how am I going to get it to grab your attention? Notice the angle of where the wolf is looking. So then you start to think about composition and how it enhances where everyone is looking, where your viewer is looking. But each of these it's so simple. It's a light value, medium value against a dark value. Very, very easy. So what I'd like you guys to do, if you want to check your own work against this idea, is bring up your images and say, is there a clear breakdown of light, medium, and dark? You know, could you break your images down? I mean, pick something that you've already done. Can you make this image out of one of the illustrations that you've already done? And how would the graphic design look if you did this treatment to it? So give it a go. It's a great 3-step sort of method for building up an image, and that is just rough sketch, high contrast, value study, and then you're finished. It's easy. 1, 2, 3.